The indirect object is a part of the sentence that receives the direct object. Another way to think of it is, the action in the sentence is performed for the indirect object. Indirect objects aren't nearly as common as direct objects are. One reason is, you have to have a direct object in order to have an indirect object. Here's a sentence that has only a direct object. I sent a letter. I sent what? A letter. That's the direct object. Now let's add an indirect object. I sent you a letter. Who received the letter? You did. The sending of the letter was performed for you. You is the indirect object of this sentence. Vivian gave Arthur the sword. Vivian gave what? The sword. Direct object. To whom did she give the sword? Arthur. Arthur is the indirect object. You can also find an indirect object as part of a prepositional phrase. Depending on who you ask, sometimes these kinds of indirect objects are called prepositional objects. This is when the indirect object comes after to or for. Peter gave Katie the bread. Peter gave the bread to Katie. In both of these sentences, Peter is the subject, gave is the verb, the bread is a direct object, and since Katie is receiving the bread, Katie is the indirect object. Sometimes including a preposition just makes a sentence sound better. As in, Mr. Scrooge bought the goose for Mr. Cratchit's family. Subject, Mr. Scrooge. Verb, bought. Direct object, the goose. Indirect object, Mr. Cratchit's family. Mr. Cratchit's family received the direct object, the goose. The action, the buying, was performed for Mr. Cratchit's family. Can we rewrite this sentence without the preposition? Mr. Scrooge bought Mr. Cratchit's family the goose. It works, but you don't want to accidentally imply Mr. Scrooge purchased the Cratchit family. Including that prepositional for just makes the meaning a little clearer. Do you have something to say to the world, but you don't quite know the right way to say it? English is a complex and powerful language. Socratica is here to help. Our grammar videos will give you the confidence to communicate your ideas effectively. Subscribe today and make the English language work for you.